Good morning students, welcome back to online classes of Global Navigation Satellite System. I am expecting that everyone is watching the videos properly. You are having very less time to finish your complete engineering itself and the 8th semester also. Along with the subjects, you people also have to concentrate on the project works also. So I am hoping that everyone is doing their project and everyone is about to finish their project, because yesterday most of the students and the project heads, they have called me and given the information that they have end of their project. So it's my request to please concentrate on publications also. Publication is very important. You have to publish your paper. Okay, so alongside, whenever you are doing your project, along with that one, you also concentrate on the publication. You search for the publication conference on the net. Wherever it is available, you prepare your IEEE format and send them the review paper, so that they'll cross check. They'll also see whether if there are any errors and all. They'll also cross check the plagiarism also. So it also takes some time. So I request that all the students to immediately wind up your project and concentrate on paper publications. Take the help of your respective guides, approach them, ask them what are the things that you have to do for all these publications and all. Okay, so concentrate on your project. This is only 1 month, you have to work hard. After that you will be having some free time. You have to concentrate simultaneously both on project as well as your subjects also. So you are having only 3 subjects, but the 3 subjects that you people have selected, that are bit difficult, but inshallah you people can do better. So practice well the subjects and also concentrate on completion of project as well as the publication. So then in today's class we are going to discuss the remaining errors that we have seen. In last class we have started the topic of GPS errors. In that errors, the first one was we have completed, that is your atmospheric errors. In that one you have seen ionospheric errors or ionospheric delays or tropospheric delays. So I hope you are clear with that particular 2 topics. Then also we have seen satellite based errors, that is satellite clock errors and Ampheris error. Okay, today we are moving on to the next errors that you are going to see here, that are your receiver clock errors. So last what we have seen, in the last class we have seen the satellite clock errors. Okay. Then we have seen the Ampheris error and how we have to mitigate that one. We have also seen that one. Correct. So now in this class we will be seeing the satellite clock errors. These are your tropospheric and ionospheric errors that will be occurring. As I have discussed yesterday about the ionospheric errors and the tropospheric errors that will be occurring. So in the ionospheric errors, that is like 1000 kilometers above the Earth's surface. So in that particular area you will be having mostly charged particles, negative charged particles, that will be affecting the signal transit time. But here in the ionospheric delays, they are dependent on frequency. When it comes to the tropospheric errors or the delays, in that one it will be dependent on the frequency. Okay, and in this delays, what happens here, you will be having the charged particles that will be affecting the transit time and the frequency. Here in the tropospheric delays, it will be completely on weather. You will be having a moistures or the weathers. Due to this also your time will be varying and your signal will be poor. So again we will be having number of different methodologies as to reduce this particular kind of delays. Okay, then now in today's class we are going to see about the clock errors, the clock or the orbital errors that will be occurring. Okay, so yesterday we have seen the satellite clock and Ampheris error. Okay, this satellite clock, like the timing should be varying, synchronization should be done in the pseudo ranges like C/A code and the precision codes. If there is not proper synchronization, so that the errors will be occurring in the timing. So that is what we call as satellite errors. So the GPS master station maintains the timing of the satellites with respect to the GPS time. So it is responsible for generating the navigation message, including the predicted value of the satellite clock drift rate. Okay. Now next one that we have seen was your Emphasis error. Emphasis occurs due to the difference in the current computed value and the values that you have predicted. So as to remove this particular kind of error, what you have to do, we have to frequently upload the data, and we have to cross check the present data and the data what we have predicted. So if you are frequently uploading, then there is a chance of getting less error. Which kind of error? That is emphasis error. Now we will see this one, receiver clock errors. So GPS receivers will be using quartz crystal oscillators as a clocks. Okay, GPS receivers will be using quartz crystal oscillator. One second. Now here very importantly you have to concentrate that satellite clocks, what we have seen here, satellite errors, or the in that one we are saying that we are using rubidium and cassium atomic clocks in the satellites. Where it comes to the GPS receivers, they will be using quartz crystal oscillator as the clocks. Okay, two different materials we are using. Okay, so these clocks are used as they consume less power and they are very inexpensive. When you compare, they are less expensive, so that's the reason we prefer these clocks, because they will be consuming less power and they will be relatively inexpensive. So the atomic clocks present in satellites are much more precise and accurate than those used in GPS receivers. Okay, so hence there is a difference in time computed by the receiver clock which leads to this error. Okay, why we are getting this error? Because when you are computing the time, because we are using here crystal oscillator clocks that are atomic clocks, obviously there will be some time difference between them, so that difference is called as your, which leads to this error. It is very important to synchronize the receiver and the satellite clocks, as even a small amount of error will lead to a wrong positioning estimation. Okay, if timing is in 0.01 millisecond timing is also difference or error we are getting, then that will be leading to the different positioning. You will be getting different position. So we have to cross check very precisely that both clocks will be synchronized, that is satellite clock and the receiver clock. Okay, satellite clocks, that are we are using the atomic clocks which are made up of the material rubidium and cassium, whereas GPS receivers will be using your crystal oscillator clocks, and these clocks are used because they will be consuming the less power and they are less expensive. And the atomic clocks present in the satellites are much more precise and accurate than those which are used in GPS receiver. Okay, but hence there is a difference in the time computed by the receiver clock which leads to this kind of errors. So what are the kind of errors? Receiver clock errors means whatever the information that you are getting from your satellite, that will be having some different timings. So due to that one, this error will be arising, but we will be having some different methodology to mitigate this error also. So it is very important to synchronize the receiver and the satellite clocks, as a very small amount of error will be leading to the wrong positioning or the wrong position estimation. So this was about your receiver clock errors. Okay, satellite errors, emphasis error, receiver clock errors, these are all our satellite based errors. Now we'll see what is multipath errors. So before we move on to the multipath errors, I'll first tell you what is a multipath. Okay, what actually is a multipath? Multipath, in the name itself you can understand what it is. Okay, so multipath occurs when the signals are reflected off of the object, such as trees or buildings. That is nothing but whenever you are passing, you have already studied in mobile cellular communication also what is a multipath. Okay, fading and all. So multipath is the one when you are getting the reflection back of that particular signal, it is coming back. Okay, so multipath errors, this will be occurring when the signals are reflected off of the objects such as trees and buildings. If trees and buildings are very high, so your signals will be reflecting to that particular, again reflecting back, then you will be getting some delay, and that particular delays are called as your multipath delays. Fine. So this reflection delay the signal before it reaches the antenna and throw off the range calculation. So what happens? These reflections delays the signal before it is reaching the antenna. It will be delaying because an abstraction has been occurred between your signal and the receiver. So that abstraction might be trees or the buildings. So what happens, there will be a delay where the signal before it is reaching the antenna itself and through off the range calculations. So multipath is the greatest source of error in the forest setting, as well as it is most difficult to combat this one. So this is about a small intro about what is a multipath. Suppose if you are transmitting the data, then first it is going there, it is abstracting the building, then it is coming to the antenna. Actually the direct signal should be like this, but what happens, this is your multipath, it is reflecting. So due to this, see the traveling time of your signal, first it is going there, again reflecting back, so it is a time taking signal. So here you will be getting the error. So this kind of error is called as your multipath error. Okay, now see what is multipath errors now. Multipath signal is a signal that travels more than one path. Okay, two paths. If you go and check here, see this is one path, the direct path. Multipath is 1 and 2, that is more than one path. So presence of such signals at the receiving antennas causes multipath errors. So the multipath signals occurs when the GPS satellite falls on different surfaces such as ground, buildings, trees, bridges, or very high buildings, or any abstraction that will be occurring, etc., before reaching it to the receiver. I'll repeat it once again. This multipath signals occurs when the GPS satellite falls on different surfaces. What are the GPS satellite signal that it is passing, that is falling on different surfaces, like it may be on the ground, that also can be reflected back, or the buildings, or the trees, or the bridges, etc., okay, before reaching the receiver. So these reflected signals always travel a longer path length than that of your direct signal. Of course, if you see the figure, you can see here, this will be having the longest path than that of your direct signal. Yes. So the direct signal takes the shortest path. This is the line of sight signal that comes direct from the satellite. So this will be a shortest path, and this is the line of sight that is directly coming from the satellite to the receiver. Whereas all other reflected signals and all other signals are the reflected signals that will be arriving later, which are called as multipath signals. I'll show one more figure also how this multipath signals will be shown. So thus multipath signals are in fact time delayed versions of the direct signals. What are that? I'm repeating this important point. Thus multipath signals are in fact time delayed versions of your direct signals. So the reflections of these signals that arrive with different delays cause the receiver signal to become corrupted. So that's the reason multipath signals create a lot of problem at the signal tracking level. By changing the phase of the carrier, it will be changing the phase of the carrier and distorting the shape of the code correlation function. Okay, which will be causing error in phase and the pseudo range measurements respectively. So if you are having the multipath error, so what they will be causing, there will be change in the phase also. The phase of the carrier will be changed, as well as they will be distracting the shape of the pseudo random ranges. That is nothing but your C/B course or the P course that will be changed. Measurements will be changed. So there will be a correlation function in that one. So this is how your multipath errors will be occurred and what they will be affecting. I'll show you the figure also here once again. See here, the satellite, which is actually shortest path, is your direct signal, and all the other signals that are occurring, that are your multipath signals. Okay, these are the time taking signals. These are nothing but the delayed versions of your direct signal. If this is the direct signal which is given to the GPS receiver, so these are the delayed versions of your particular signal. If you are having this kind of error, so these are the reflector 1 building, this is the reflector 2, these are the multipaths, and that is your direct signal. This is the shortest length signal, this is the longest wave, other part of your direct signal, right? So if these errors, multipath errors are occurring, so what is the effect? They will be affecting the codes, the pseudo random codes or the pseudo ranges, as well as the they will be affecting the phase, means the carrier phase will be changed. So these are the two things that are affected by your multipath errors. Okay, I hope you are clear with the multipath errors, what is a multipath signal and what are the multipath errors. So if you are describing this incoming signal, then this one can be given as S1 of t is equals to cos omega t in plus pi t into pi by 2. P of t into pi by 2. P of t is the PRN codes or the pseudo random codes, and omega is the frequency of the received signal in radian per second, including your Doppler shift also. Okay, Doppler shift we have already studied. I'll tell you in the next class again. Then normalizing the amplitude of the incoming signal to 1. If you are normalizing the amplitude value, then you will be getting the equation as S1 of t is equals to minus P of t into sine omega t. Now if you consider the stable multipath environment, the incoming signal with the single multipath signal, if you are having only one single multipath signal, then that can be written as Sm of t is equals to, which is including the multipath one. So that's the reason I have given it as Sm of t, that is equals to S1 of t, the amplitude of the normalized signal, okay, plus alpha into S1 of t minus rho, where A is the amplitude of the multipath signal related to the direct signal, and here rho is the time delay. This is the time delay what we have occurred. Okay, this is your original signal and this is your multipath signal, and alpha tells you the amplitude of that direct signal when you are having that multipath, and rho here showing you the time delay, how much time delay you have occurred. Means it will be taking the longest path. No, direct signal will be having the shortest, but directly it is coming from the GPS to the receiver. Now substitute these equations in the first equation 2.1 here over here. Then what is the equation that you will be getting is Sm of t is equals to minus, I am substituting this value S1 of t and S1 of t over here. So it is minus P of t into sine omega t minus alpha into pi t minus rho into sine omega t plus theta. So what I am doing, I am substituting the value of S1 of t with, that is original signal as well as your multipath signal. So here the equation will be like this, multipath signal equation, where theta is the phase of the multipath signal. Okay, it is the phase of the multipath signal relative to the direct signal. Okay, then you will be having for the multipath signal, when the phase is either 0 or pi radians, it is considered as a time delay. In case if you are having this theta value in terms of 0 or pi, then it means that there is some time delay. So due to this one, by using this equation, we can find out that if there is a multipath occurred and how much it is there, and how we have to eliminate that one. So this was about your multipath signal, multipath error. So the above what we have discussed, this one is multipath error. Okay, this one was about your multipath signal, how a multipath signal will be there. Then we have seen the multipath error. As to know what is the multipath error, we are going to use these equations. Okay, one is direct signal equation, one is multipath signal equation, that both we are substituting in the normalized amplitude of the input signal. Then we will be getting the equation, and depending upon the 0 and pi values, we can say that how much like phase has been changed and what is the time delay. Now we have to estimate what is the multipath error. So as to estimate that particular multipath error, that can be estimated by employing a technique which is called as your carrier minus code. Okay, so multipath error can be estimated by employing a carrier minus code technique, CMC technique we call that one. Okay, the pseudo range and the phase measurements in meters on L1 carrier are given as, the pseudo ranges means the codes that you are using, that is P code or the C by I codes, that will be given as rho L1 is equals to R plus rho L of ionospheric delays plus tropospheric delays and plus the first carrier frequency that you have considered. Okay, all this will be pseudo ranges of your orbit, then equators. Okay, all this will be considered. Then when it comes to the sigma L1, this is the carrier frequency, that is also given as R minus rho into sigma ionosphere, and after rho of troposphere, then you will be considering different pseudo right ranges and all. So this is the two equations as to find out the estimation of the multipath errors. R is the geometric range. Okay, this is the geometric range. R tropo means it is a tropospheric delay. Rho RB is the receiver clock bias. Then RSB is the satellite clock bias. All these errors we are considering. Then rho equatorial or is the equipment delay. Whatever the equipment delay that will be getting, that we are consider. Then rho orbit mean that is the orbital errors. Then rho pseudo ranges of L1, we will be considering the first carrier frequencies, and rho ionospheric delays in L1 signal, that is first carrier signal. Then multipath delay in the L1. Then eta rho L1R is the measurement of noise. Okay, it is measurement of noise, and delta N1 and N1 is the integer ambiguity on L1 first carrier, and all these subscripts of phi correspond to the phase measurements of L1. As I have said that this multipath will be affecting the phase as well as it will be affecting your delay. So both that can be found out by using the given equations, these particular two equations. Okay. So the troposphere, clock errors, orbital errors, satellite and receiver delays, and the relativistic effects are independent of frequency. They won't be completely dependent on the frequency, which affect the code and the carrier phases by the same amount, when ionospheric refraction and multipath are frequency dependent. Okay. This ionospheric and multipath, they are frequency dependent, and all other errors, tropospheric errors or the clock errors, satellite clock errors, receiver errors, that are completely independent of frequency. Only ionospheric errors and the multipath errors will be depending on the frequency. So this was about your multipath signal, multipath errors. Okay, how we have got the multipath error, then estimation of your multipath error. How we are going to estimate, like how much error is present because of your multipath. Now we'll see how this multipath will be mitigated. First we have seen the multipath signal, what are the signal, like what is meant by actually multipath. Then we have seen the multipath error estimation, like how much error will be there. Now we have to see how this multipath can be mitigated. There are two types of multipath signal. First one is diffuse multipath signal and a specular multipath signal. Okay, when these incoming signals bend upon hitting on an object, its path is called a diffused multipath. Okay, the two kinds of multipath signals we are saying here. Okay, this is specular and this is your diffused multipath. What is diffused? First one, when the incoming signals bend upon hitting an object, when it is bending upon hitting this particular object, then these kind of signals are called as your diffused multipath signals. Where it comes to specular multipath signals are produced when the signals are reflected by the objects such as concrete structures, vehicles or grounds, etc. Okay, like buildings are there or any higher bridges are there, and they are reflecting back. They are just touching their signals, they are reflecting or attacking the signals to that building and then reflecting back. Then that kind of multipaths are called as specular signals. And the signals that are hitting the objects and they are bending, the signals are bending, then that kind of multipaths are called as diffuse multipath signals. Okay, so diffuse multipath is generally uncorrelated with the time and has noise like behavior, whereas specular multipath is coherent and creates systematic errors. Okay, because if these errors are occurs, it is very difficult to mitigate this one, because they are bending, this particular waves are bending, signals are bending. So this kind of behavior comes where you will be getting noise. But when it comes to the specular multipath errors, it is a coherent error and they will be creating a systematic errors. Okay, just they are hitting the grounds or buildings or trees or any bridges and then be reflecting back. But here what happens, they will be bending. So what are the two different kinds of multipaths? Diffuse multipaths and specular multipaths. So the multipaths distort the direct signal through interface with the reflected or indirect signals. So in such situation, GPS receiver, which is trying to measure the direct path length to satellite, may estimate a wrong propagation time, causing a positional error. So the technique for reducing the effect of the reflected signals are known as multipath mitigation. So this is a technique which we are using to estimate, to remove these particular reflected signals, that is called as multipath mitigation. So what happens? Multipath will be distorting the direct signal through the interface with reflected or indirect signals, and due to this one the GPS receiver is unable to find the direct path, and we will be getting the wrong propagation time delays. So these are all errors. As to mitigate these errors, we are having a technique which is called as your multipath mitigation. So what is the multipath mitigation? How we are going to estimate that one, we'll see here. There are 4 major methods of the multipath mitigation that we have considered from the Yogandlu, one of the author, which will be having his book. Okay, so he says in that particular book we have seen that there are 4 different methods to find out the multipath mitigation. First one is placement of antennas in low multipath. We have to place number of antennas in the lower multipath. Second one is hardware methods such as antenna design. You have to see the proper antenna designing, the use of specific microwave absorption materials, okay, and the receiver tracking. Okay, these are the hardware methods. One is placement of antennas in low multipaths. Second, you use the hardware in such a good design that you use a better antennas. Then you use some specific microwave observing materials, okay, the trace, and you use a receiver tracking. Then third is software approach. Second one is hardware approach. Third one is software approach, such as the algorithmic development, which is developed to reduce unknown measured errors sources, including multipath, using receiver autonomous integrity monitoring scheme. This is RAIM scheme, we call this as. So software approaches such as algorithms developed to reduce the unknown measurement errors. So if I go to find out the length or the measurement of the indirect path, that is the longer path, so automatically this software will be saying that it is the longest path. So obviously it is not the correct path, because the direct paths are the shorter paths. So these were here including multipaths using receiver autonomous integrity monitoring schemes will be present, that is RAIM. Then the last one is hybrid methods, by combining both hardware and software techniques to estimate multipath due to the spatial correction of measurements received from an array of antennas, but it requires the array to be static. Okay, so this is the fourth one. First one is placement of antennas in lower multipath. Second technique is either you improve the hardware. Third one, you can use the software, and the fourth one is hybrid method, which is combining both hardware as well as the software technique to estimate the multipath. Okay, these are the 4 techniques that are used for your multipath mitigation or removing of your multipath errors. So I hope you are clear with all this topic, multipath errors. Okay, what is multipath? What is the first we have seen what is the multipath. Then we have gone through the multipath error estimation, or what actually how much error will be there. Then we have seen the how you can remove that particular multipath error or mitigation of multipaths. I hope you are all clear with this part. In case any doubts, please do let me know. We'll wind up the class here itself. And there are some more errors, I think one or two might be remaining errors. I think that will also complete. Emphase error we have discussed. Then we have seen also clock stability, ionospheric delays, tropospheric delays. Then we have seen multipath, satellite and receiver clock errors also we have completed. This anti-spoofing and spoofing I'll be going for the last topic. Then you will be having selective availability and receiver noise. Receiver noise also we know at the what particular kind, that also we have seen in today's class itself. So only the 2 errors that are remaining are your selective availability and anti-spoofing, spoofing and anti-spoofing. Okay, that I'll discuss in the next class. I hope you are all clear with the today's class. What are the errors? See, these are the receiver clock errors that we have seen, satellite clock and emphase errors, tropospheric delays, ionospheric delays. I hope we have covered everything, all the errors that we have discussed. Okay, what are there in your syllabus? Remaining all that remaining 1 or 2 errors that are there, selective availability and anti-spoofing and all, that we'll discuss in the next class. I hope you are all clear with these errors. In case of any doubts, please do let me know. Concentrate, I'm repeating once again, concentrate on your subject. Along with that, concentrate on your project. This is very important. Okay, at the last moment, don't make hurry. Simultaneously concentrate on subjects and as well as the projects, and mainly publications. Okay, so for today's class it is, and we'll wind up here itself. Thank you.